Hey there, welcome back to Angry Bird. I want to talk about stolen labor for just a moment and give you two life examples and uh, tell me what you think. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If my understanding means you'll get some alerts. You'll get an alert if I make something new. And I'll try to keep the title so if it interests you, you would know that that's one you might want to hear. All right, so this one is about stolen labor. All right, so there was a time I worked in the restaurant field. I did it for 21 consecutive years in one restaurant. Let that register. 21 years in one restaurant. One restaurant chain. But I was known. Okay, I was a known figure. I am certain of it. At one point at the corporate office, I had my face on a wall there. Okay, I had records and I had all sorts of things that I had accomplished within the framework of that company. So during my time there was about a 13 consecutive year stretch, where I never gained and slowly lost purchase power. It was when they started devaluing service. So if you don't know, if you worked in the 80s and you're a waitress, you could afford a one-bedroom place, pay your way through college, and probably have a little extra money to party on and have a little fun. Okay. In the 90s, you could probably do the same things, but it'd probably be like a roommate situation. I mean, when I went into the field in the 90s, I grabbed a roommate and I was able to make it happen with the roommate. So just two people on basically like a minimum wage type situation were able to get out there and start, being able to make ends meet. Now, when I moved out, I was above minimum wage, but mathematically it could be done. Okay. So 13 consecutive years. And during this time frame, I want you to understand the company I work for did not ever decline in profits, so to speak. There was like a 3-year span where we had stiff competition and you could tell like our sales were in decline, our profits were in decline. And those were the struggle years. But we understood as managers, as employees, we understood we had competition. We had to get better. We had to do better. We had to ride it out, right? We had to make our customers come here instead of there, right? So, but after that the other company closed down. And they made it where every single year, every single quarter, for like 10 consecutive, there was an increase. Like where we made more money than last year by increasing the costs on the menu, or by decreasing the value of labor, or by finding another way to manipulate where we're going to be more profitable. There were many. Best example I can give you is that this is about Chuck E. Cheese. The best example is the ticket counter. Just to get something over there that costs 3 cents, costs the customer, the cost over there is about 13% on the dollar. About 13% when I work there on the dollar, if I remember right. 13%. The reason why is because if you played a game, the average game you played gave you about 3 tickets. The average cost of a coin was a certain amount, and then by the end of it, you had tickets, and you'd go to the counter with those tickets, And there was some sort of balance of people coming in with old tickets and people leaving with saved tickets, right? Saving up for something, right? So there was always sort of balance to it. And it rocked around 13%. So they manipulated tickets down to about 3.1 towards the end. It was like 3.4, 3.3, then 3.2, something like that. I just remember decline and how many they wanted to give out. Then, in that same time period, the 10 years, they pushed us to get rid of the full-timers. Hire more part-timers. Bring your average wage down. There was actually emails pitting us against one another on an hourly wage scale, if you can believe that shit. So it didn't matter if you lived in an expensive area, a cheap area, in the country, in a big city with high rents. Your hourly wage had to compete with one another. And so it just became ever more ridiculous, man. So during the time, 10 years, they made ever more and either paid the same or less every single year. They kept increasing profits and decreasing value of their workforce. So that's the one example, okay? So if you worked in the 80s in the restaurant, you went to college. If you worked in the 80s, 90s in a restaurant, you had roommates, could have went to college, right? It's just harder. By 2000, working in the restaurants was basically like the job nobody wanted anymore. It was the job that you got because that's all that hired. And then now it's all struggle wages. There is no, even as a general manager, I want to give you that example back to where I came from, 21 years straight somewhere. When I left, I was the third highest salary they told me anyway, or the third highest paid person in the company. And the replacements now make less, and I've left them, man, at least 15 years ago. And their replacements today make less than what I got paid when I left 15 years ago. The work isn't less hard. So I just wanted that to register. That's stolen labor. It's not that the work doesn't have to be done. It's not that they're not making more, money to pay for it. What they're doing is they're taking all of the extra profits every step of the way. Every time there's a menu increase, they take it and don't share it with the employees who didn't get an increase at all. If anything, the employee working there just took a cut in pay when that happens, right? Because everything got more expensive and they got paid the same. So that's one. Second one is the service industry. So, sorry, not the service industry, the emergency industry. I worked for a company that I got paid $88,000. The part cost was $67,000. My sales was $598,000. This is 1 year, only 1 year. Okay, just want to let you know, only 1 year, one company, one technician, me. Okay, then I don't know the overhead. They won't tell me. Okay, but what is that? What is that? Geez, 355,000 or 400 something. Hold on a sec. 88,000 plus 67,000 in parts equals minus 598,000 equals so $443,000 they had to work with After they paid me and after they paid for the parts, okay? That's what they were, that's the bundle of money from my back. So let's assume there's overhead at every house I ever went to. There's all these people to pay at the office and all this other stuff. You have to understand. I get there's overhead, but not like that. Not like that. Nobody has overhead like that. That where it's like over half the cost is just overhead. Where it not in our industry. Because all you're paying for is Google and advertisement, really. That's it. And because of what we charge and because of what we were doing and because of what, let's even say like every house you went into, you had $100 and something worth of overhead. The average house, I got paid $100. I would say on average. So if you let's say it's $150. So okay, I'll just say it's $150. All right. Every house, $150. So what's that? 88 times 1.5. So I'll just say they doubled mine. $132,000 they had overhead. Everyone else got paid in our company now. And $375,000 in costs now. Right? But sales were $598. Leaving about $220,000 in profit. And I want you to understand that went to one guy. His family. And I was one of hundreds of techs. How many people could I fed? How much help would I need? I could put all my kids through college. What would it have taken to pay every single tech of his a wage that produced an extremely solid upper middle class citizen with zero needs, the ability to help other people, and he would still be rich beyond anyone's dreams? You see where I was going with that? There was no reason for him to keep $200-something off a single person's back. There's no reason for a company to get rid of people because they make too much wages, just because they can. Stop paying anyone any extra, no matter how much money they keep dumping into the profit lines, not giving any extra back over and over and over and over and over again. It's an absurd system. It's stolen labor. And I'm biased to the bone. And now you know why. Love y'all. Have a great morning. Bye.